Okay, let's bring in Craig Button now for an assessment of Crosby's greatness, where he sits right now, all time. Craig, where do you have him?
Well, you start to look at the accomplishments of great players in the all-time list. So we don't have to look at the significant accomplishments of any one player because they're all significant over a very long time. But there are separators, beginning with Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux, 1, 2, 3, Gordie Howe at 4. But I see Crosby settling into 5, although I don't think it's clear-cut because his great rival, Alexander Ovechkin, arguably one of the greatest goal scorers of all time, is right there. And as Sidney Crosby sits on the cusp of a significant milestone, 1,000 games played in the National Hockey League, 10 years ago or so, Rod, there were some questions whether Sidney Crosby's career would be cut short. Those answers are clear that they haven't been cut short, nor has his brilliance.
Yeah, he's not done yet, neither's Ovechkin for that matter. So could Crosby break into the top 4 depending on how the rest of his career goes?
When I look at hockey's Mount Rushmore, Gretzky, Orr, Lemieux, and Howe, I don't see any player being able to break into that. And if we focus in solely on Gordie Howe at 4, he was the dominant player for 20 years. I don't see any player ever being able to put their carving up on the hockey Mount Rushmore ahead of those 4. They were dominant, they were the best, and they stand apart from every other player. And as great as Crosby has been, I don't see him on hockey's Mount Rushmore.
And I don't think there is any shame in finishing just behind those 4 legends. Craig Button, thank you.
Crosby can now add prompting Michael Farber to write an essay about you to his long list of achievements. Gentlemen, both of your careers are wrapping up as Sid was coming into the league. What do you guys remember most about him? Mike, let's begin with you.
Well, I remember before he got in there, in the summer before his first year, my friends who didn't play hockey were asking, how good can he be? And I'm like, well, he was going to be okay. I mean, the best player in the league get 80, 90 points, so he might get 60. I guess I was wrong because he stepped in and got over 100 points and was great from the get-go. And I also remember when I was playing in Montreal and I was on the penalty kill and Sidney Crosby was on the power play, a specific power play meeting saying, okay, he likes to hit the defenseman backdoor through the seam. If you're the weak side forward, make sure to take that away. And I was there thinking I had it all lined up, put it right through my skate for a great chance. And I'm like, you know what? Dang it, he's just better than I am right now. And that one hurt because I thought I had him covered, and he showed me no matter what you do, sometimes the great players, they just make great plays and make you look bad.
The goalie's got to make that save, Mike. That's not your fault. You had your guy. You did everything you could. You know what? Honestly, what I remember about Sidney Crosby was the hype around him, obviously, because like you, Mike, my friends were asking and saying, this guy sounds like the real deal. And I kept thinking, well, how good could he be? But what stood out for me wasn't his skill, it was his work ethic. It was almost like he was a very high-end grinder. And I say that respectfully because all of the skilled players that I played against in Lemieux and Gretzky, they had work ethic, but their skill was on display. It was almost like Sidney's work ethic was on display, and then he had this massive skill on top of it. So he's continued that, and what's impressed me as the years have gone on is any type of weakness in his game, and believe me, there's no weakness, but he worked hard at it to get better and better. Early on, he wasn't great on draws. He got better on draws. Some of the small details of his game have just evolved. So right from the drop of the puck, the one thing that stood out for me with Sidney Crosby was his work ethic, because I thought a lot of guys, when they first got into the league, they relied on their talent before they learned to play at the National Hockey League level consistently.